Hey, it's Mr. Scoppa here with an update for the end of January. It's amazing how fast this time is running already. I'm looking at the calendar up on the wall and I'm looking at it and I'm seeing that, it's amazing on how fast this is going because it's the 29th of January now, and which means that next week is February and it's going really fast. And that reminds me that today is the halfway point of the school year, which means that from here forward, and I've talked to the kids about this, I am going to be raising my expectations of them a little bit to help get them ready for 5th grade, because now from Monday forward, they are going to be closer towards the beginning of 5th grade than they are to the beginning of 4th grade. And, they really should be making sure that they're moving forward in their expectations and things like that. So I've talked about the fact that a lot of the reminders are not going to be there, and that they are going to have to become a little bit more responsible and going through and following those classroom expectations and reminders of things for the no excuses. And speaking of no excuses, I'm just going to wander over here and talk about what they are a little bit here. I talked to them about the fact that with the no excuses that there's the all-righters, there's the 3rd grade excuses, the 4th graders no excuses. These are the ones that we started with right at the beginning of the year. But considering that these are 5th grade no excuses that they will be working with for next year, which means that they are things that they have worked on in 4th grade, I'm going to be really focusing on this one of rereading my writing for meaning before turning in my work. And I've talked to the kids about the fact that sometimes lately they've been getting and turning in some things that don't always make sense. And we've really been kind of focusing on that in math lately, because that's an important thing. And I talked to them about the fact that words really matter and communicating clearly is a really important thing. And so we're going to be focusing on, making sure that the things that we write and the things that we show with our math and things like that are reread and looked over carefully before we turn them in to make sure that they make sense. And that's something that we all need to do. And I talked to them about the fact that it's not just something for school, and that this is something that we should be doing for all of life, because even as adults we've got to look over things carefully before we turn them in, just like things like our IRS tax returns. Yes, it is tax season. Don't forget, you've got a little bit of time still. Don't worry, you got like 2.5 months. But things like that the things that we're working on here in school are not just those school-related things, and that's why it's really important. It's life skills. Speaking of life skills, T-minus 2 hours from when I'm recording this, which should be maybe, by the time you watch this, it will have already happened. The world is going to totally change because I'm going to get them signed into their Google accounts. They don't know it's coming today. They're going to find out after lunch and recess, and it's going to be kind of crazy. And we're going to get them signed into Google, so they'll learn how to sign into Google. They will have a username. They will have a password. They can sign into Google and have access to it at home. They can sign into Google and have access to it here at school. So that way we can sort of get them slowly moving into doing different parts with it. And the first thing that we're going to do today is they are going to take, they've already taken it. I'm going to hand them back one of their Worldly Wise tests. They're going to enter it into a Google form. When everybody's done, I'm going to go click, 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 and through the magic of the internet, it's going to score them all, and then it's going to email them their results. So that way they can see some of the power of some of the things that the Google accounts can do for us, and that way they can show what's going on. And it's kind of cool because it's life lessons and life skills that we need to know there, like I said, beyond the classroom, because these are things that as we use in life, they're just all over the place. You don't think about the fact of what do I need to do to send an email anymore. You just kind of go ahead and do it because it's habit. Well, we've got to teach them how to do it. And learning at school in a safe environment is a really important thing, and working with technology and showing about collaboration, which is all of what the Google accounts and Google Apps for education are really for, is to teach them those real-world things. So that's some kind of cool stuff going on. As far as everything else, we're going to be going through, they're working on some colonial stuff over in Mr. Fundus's classroom right now. They're learning about the original 13 colonies and what life was like before the American Revolution, and they're going to be learning all about trades, and they're going to be learning about the whole apprenticeship type guild, where they learn step by step going through, and about how long things took, and the fact that these people focused on these things for a huge part of their life, starting at the age that they're at right now. And it's amazing that how much things have changed over time, and they're going to be doing some writing based off of that. So that's really kind of some cool stuff going on. But with that, happy halfway through the school year, and we'll see you next week after the information revolution of today.